Hello, everybody. This is Teacher Levy. I am making another slow English video. I have a few others on my channel that you can go check out if you would like. Notice check out is not check out, but when we are speaking quickly, we can say check out. Check out the videos. These videos are designed for intermediate or advanced level learners who are looking to precisely understand the words that I am saying. Notice I said intermediate and not intermediate. The T sound is silent. So if you are practicing to speak quicker, you can say the intermediate speakers. I was searching for a new background for this video and I found this construction site that I have been helping on and decided to climb the roof of this building and sit up here and film an English video. Notice I said sit instead of sit. You can say sit, and then when you begin practicing, you can start saying sit, sit up here. I began to sit up here on the roof. I also have my dog here, so sometimes I might glance around or look around to make sure that she is here and she is not running away. For the past 2 weeks around, I have been helping with the demolition or just taking the roof off of this building. This building will turn into a house. It won't be my house, but I am trying to help out. Notice I said help out and not help out. It is similar to the last T sound where it is a more silent T. Help out. Trying to help out. You can see some of these beams. We call these beams or wooden beams are rotten. They are decaying. This here is rotten. And notice I'm saying rotten and not rotten. It is okay to say rotten, but as you begin practicing your pronunciation, you can try saying rotten. These beams are rotten. Sometimes builders or renovators, notice I said renovators and not renovators. It is okay to say renovators, but when you begin speaking quicker, you can say renovators, the people who renovate a house or any building or structure. Renovators is renovators. Sometimes the renovators will try to salvage. Salvage is to save products. For example, the beams or the bricks. But in this case, I think these will have to go. Most likely they will get brought. Notice I said get brought and not get brought. It is okay to say get brought, but you can practice saying they will get brought. They will get brought to the dump where there is a lot of trash, or they might get burnt somewhere in a fire. There is also brick and mortar. Mortar, again, I am not saying mortar, but mortar. Brick and mortar. Mortar is the material in between the bricks, which holds the bricks together. Perhaps you can see it here in between these three bricks. There is mortar. We can say there is mortar in between the three bricks. The level of this wall got brought down. It used to be higher or taller. There were maybe 5 or 7 rows of bricks that got taken off. Notice that got, I am not saying that got, but that got taken off. To take off these bricks, for example, here, we were using a hammer to hammer some of these bricks out, and also a tool similar to a chisel. A chisel is a piece of metal used for carving wood. It was a tool similar to a chisel to get into the grooves or the space in between the bricks, and used a hammer to split the bricks apart. And then we can take them out and throw them. Notice I said split them apart and not split them apart. Again, these are similar silent T's or flap T's, where we can say split them apart. Split them apart. And that was a useful technique for getting rid of these extra bricks so that they could lower the level of this front wall. I am sitting on the front wall of this building. Notice I said sitting and not sitting. Sitting is also okay because it is very clear, but to perfect or make perfect your pronunciation, you can also practice saying sitting. I am sitting on the front wall of the building. I am sitting on the front wall of the building, and the back wall, which you cannot see, is a lot taller than this wall, and it still needs to get lowered to this height or this same level. When you are sitting on this wall, it doesn't feel so high up from the ground. But when you are standing on the wall, it feels a lot higher. Recently, notice recently and not recently. Recently, when one of these beams were sitting right here on this wall, I remember it was very rotten and there was a gap or a hole right in the middle of the beam. It was running through the middle, running or going through the middle of the beam, and there were a lot of mouse feces or mouse poop that was falling out of the middle of the beam. I believe perhaps in the winter there were mice, mice living maybe in the beam or in the walls to stay warm during the cold winter. So sometimes this kind of work can be messy or it can get dirty. Notice I said dirty and not dirty. Dirty is also okay because we can understand you. It is no problem. But as you level up your pronunciation, you can practice saying, it is dirty. This is dirty. Sometimes when you are working up here, you can see there is a lot of dust. We call that dust. When you are removing the bricks and taking apart the roof, there can be dust in the air. And as you can see, there is also some wind currently. Notice currently and not currently. Currently, there is some wind. And in the moment, notice in the moment and not moment. In the moment, if you speak quicker, you can practice saying in the moment. In the moment, you can have dust come into your face and you will inhale it. To inhale is to breathe in the dust sometimes. It is not the best experience, but it comes with the job. That is a good expression if you are explaining something that is part of your job or what you do. Notice part of, not part of. If you are practicing, you can start now saying part of. It is part of my job, or the expression, it comes with the job. If you are a teacher and you have to deal with a lot of students' behavior problems, and you seem like you are a therapist, you can say, oh, it comes with the job, meaning it is part of your everyday tasks or something you have to deal with at work. Because it was a small crew, the crew is the people working on this project. Because it was a small crew, there weren't necessarily enough people to do the job with the right precision or tools that were needed. Sometimes these beams were cut with a chainsaw. Notice cut with, not cut with. They were cut with a chainsaw in multiple places. Afterwards, once they were weaker, they attached a chain. A chain is a metal rope or similar. They attached a chain to one of the connecting points. The connecting points is where they connect, where they meet. They attached a chain to one of the connecting points and started, we can say started, yanking. Yanking is pulling. They started yanking the beams. With a few people, the beams would start to sway. The sway is to move back and forth. they started to sway, and at one point they pulled off one of these connected pieces, and with that technique, they went down the whole roof, and it is about 70 or 65% finished. Notice I said 70. Notice I said 70 and not 7T. 7T is okay, but to improve your pronunciation, you can say 70. 70%. Percent is similar, but I believe I have discussed that in a previous video. 70%. Keep in mind, these videos are designed for intermediate or advanced level learners who are looking to precisely or accurately, notice accurately, not accurately. They are looking to accurately, they are looking to accurately understand every word that I am saying, and hopefully this will prove to be beneficial listening practice. Now the wind is picking up, meaning it is getting stronger. So I hope you can still hear me clearly because the camera is far away. I can't reach it. I need to climb down the ladder and then climb up to a piece of scaffolding. Scaffolding is designed to go on the side of a wall or building, and it is used so that the workers can climb up the side and more easily access different parts of the building. Notice I said ladder, and notice I said climb. Climb is a silent B. It is not climb, but climb. To climb down the ladder. Ladder. Ladder is with a D, but you can practice saying the sentence climb down the ladder, climb down the ladder, and climb up the ladder. I wanted to also answer a comment. Notice comment, not comment. I wanted to also answer a comment that I saw last night. Somebody messaged, how can I improve my speaking? The obvious answer is to speak to somebody, a tutor, notice tutor, not tutor, a tutor or a speaking buddy. That could be a friend or a neighbor, and consistently speak with them in English. The second best way is to speak to yourself. It is a little weird. Notice little, not little. It is a little weird, but you can give it a shot. It means to try it. You can give it a shot and do it also consistently. Every day, a little bit. Every day, a little bit. There is a big tarp on the scaffolding where my camera is standing, and it is making some noise. I apologize if it is disturbing the video. I saw a few comments about asking me to talk about art. Notice when we speak quickly, we can say talk about art instead of art. It is okay to say art, but you can also practice saying art. Talk about art. Perhaps I will do a video talking about art in the future, but if you have any other recommendations or comments or feedback, you can feel free to write them in the comment section below, and I will go through them and read them all. Thank you for watching. If you support these videos, feel free to like and subscribe, and I will be making more content in the future. Notice I said content and not content. Content. I will be making more content in the future. Bye bye.